Welcome back, everyone. ESPN is taking some heat today for its decision to change the announcer of a college football game, all because of his name. It's so random. This is Robert Lee's picture on Twitter. He was scheduled to call the game between Virginia and William and Mary. Lee shares the name with the famous Confederate general, and after what happened in Charlottesville over the Robert E. Lee statue, ESPN feared there could be an issue. In a statement, ESPN says it's a shame that this is even a topic of conversation, and we regret that who calls play-by-play for a football game has become an issue. But a lot of people say it wasn't an issue until ESPN made it one by removing him. It seems a little like an overreaction when there was no complaints.
Well, let me ask you this. What did ESPN think would happen if he were to go on air with that name? Like, what were their, what do you have any kind of outcome ideas?
I think they were just trying to be proactive because this is such a sensitive society these days. So I think they were just trying to be proactive and say, you know what, let's nip this in the bud and let's maybe not have backlash for being insensitive.
Do you think they would have been boycotted, though? Do you think people would have had an outcry?
You never know.
They might have been trolled on Twitter. I think that would have been the worst of it. I don't think anyone would have actually boycotted ESPN for. I mean, look, look at the picture of the play-by-play guy. He's an Asian, and Robert E. Lee was a white dude.
It's the guy's it's his real name. I mean, I don't like you, Julie. I didn't expect anything at all to happen with this. This is this guy's government name. This is the name his mama gave him when he came out. Why would someone make a deal out of that?
Right. And on a side note, when do we ever know the announcers' names anyway?
I
never remember them. Or they could have called him Bob Lee, or had some other.
And it's not like he's going by Robert E. Lee. He's going by Robert Lee.
Come on, in this world of social media, someone would have pounced on that. If he had been doing the play-by-play from the sidelines, this is Robert Lee reporting live from the sidelines, somebody would have been like, Robert,
right, but that's what I'm saying, is that they would have been trolls, and they wouldn't have been anyone.
But it would have
happened. ESPN given them any kind of credit.
Even if it's an internet troll, you know how things go viral, you know how it blows up, and there's so many things these days that are so silly. I mean, we see things in fashion, we see things in just body shaming, we see things that are just an ad, a simple ad for Gap. I mean, we see the simplest things.
But the ratings would have been great for ESPN then.
Well, you know what?
All it would have taken is for the trolls to see that Robert Lee is an Asian man, and they're like, and ESPN would have been like, there'd be no point to respond to them.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? We're talking about it today, so you know what? They still won.
They did. I guess they
still won.
Avoided some real problems. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's talk about some drama last night, because there was some drama on TV last night on America's Got Talent, and that was between the judges Mel B and Simon Cowell. Yeah, the former Spice Girl, who is going through a rough divorce right now from her estranged husband, Stephen Belafonte. She didn't think it was funny at all when Cowell made a crack about Mel's wedding last night after it appeared that a contestant's trick went sideways. And here's what happened and what fellow judge Heidi Klum had to say about it.
Well, I'm kind of imagining this would be like Mel B's wedding night. A lot of anticipation, not much promise or delivery.
Well, I have to say, when Simon opens his mouth and he says naughty things, I would do the same thing, I have to say.
Wow.
So she's not defending Mel?
No, not at all.
You saw Mel B, she walked right off the set, and I mean, was it all in good fun though, or was it inappropriate? Because it looked like she was kind of laughing, but at the same time, I bet it hit a nerve.
It probably just made her look dumb though, like she had to react because the audience is like, oh, he just got burned.
It's like getting made fun of in the cafeteria.
When you say it like that, Julie, I guess so.
It's like getting burned. Like a guy's in the locker room and they get burned and everyone's responding. It's like you have to react. Although, from a professional standpoint, it wasn't the best decision. It kind of got in the way of the momentum. Like, everyone forgot about the contestant on the stage who was there to,
He's
try
probably
and
glad for that, though. I think
it's like, oh, no one knows how bad I am, because I'm sure it wasn't that great. But still, I mean, it wasn't the best thing, but it was a cheap shot from Simon.
But you know what? Okay, y'all know me. We family, and y'all know where I'm going to go with this. I don't believe it. This was completely staged. And let me tell you, when I first lost interest in AGT last night was when another dance team was trying to perform, and Tyra came out with her horrible acting. Honey, stick to modeling. The acting is not for you. Love you, but it's not for you. When she came out and said, oh, this group can't go on because they're having technical difficulty.
Oh, you knew
Lies.
right away.
We're in the same field. We know that y'all rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. There is no such thing as they could not come on and perform. And that's when I said, you know what? They're getting ready to do some heavy acting tonight. And then I actually turned the channel. And then when I woke up this morning and saw this, I'm like, and I rewatched it. The look on, what's the bald head guy? Glasses.
Howie Mandel.
Him. Bad acting. The look on his face and his reaction, spare me. That was so staged. They're looking for ratings. Ain't buying it. Next.
How are their ratings? I can't stand that show anymore. I don't know.
You can't?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm not a fan.
It's usually really good until they sink this low.
Right.
That was just so staged.
And that's the thing. And here we are talking about it again.
Knowing Simon would not genuinely come out of his mouth and disrespect Mel B on television like that, knowing the whole world knows that she's going through a really rough divorce right now. Her soon-to-be ex-husband has allegedly done some horrible things to her.
Yeah.
Why would he come out on television saying these types of things?
He's known for being, you know,
but that's
not a
crossing
nice
the
guy.
line. That is crossing the line, and that's just
We've
not,
said that about
that's
Simon
him.
Cowell so many times, though, when he's rude to complete strangers who were there to compete on the show. You know, what's the difference between him and Mel
we're
B?
Americans, and we're looking at somebody with British humor, and British humor it can be very crass.
It's very dry,
and they
too,
don't
yeah.
mean it so disrespectful
But that's below
as
the belt.
we
That's
take
below
it.
the belt.
But it's not. I mean, you know, maybe in his mind he, you know, overstepped some boundaries, or maybe he didn't. But they said it wasn't staged. I mean,
Of course they're going to say
but
that.
there were many. Yeah, sometimes they say things and they
It's like
lead
a
you
used
to
car
believe.
salesman
but
telling you, oh, this car's in great shape.
I don't
It's
think
never
it
been
was
in
staged
accident.
though, because I don't think Heidi Klum would have been in the middle of that, knowing that there was
see how
there
fast
was
she
a
got up and
bucket
got out
of
the way,
water.
though,
Yeah,
didn't
I don't
it?
think she would have
Yeah.
sat there knowing that
And you know
that was
what?
coming. I think she would have been leaning in,
Protecting the
knowing it was
hours of
coming.
hair and makeup that was done before the show.
If she really wanted to get him, she would have got him. Because the way she threw that water on him was like, please.
Yeah.
I think
Nice
it's
try.
just
We're
an odd
talking about it,
reaction.
so again, they're winning.
But she was laughing while she was doing
Yes.
it. So
I
it
think it
wasn't
was
like
fun.
Yeah, she was like furious.
Yes.
But there was
her outfit was also
definitely annoying.
awesome.
Oh, it was
but
really
listen,
hot.
we're going to move on now and talk about a bravery for just a moment. Supermodel Chrissy Teigen revealed that she has struggles with alcohol. In an interview with Cosmopolitan, Chrissy said, quote, "I was point blank just drinking too much." The 31-year-old model said that she's trying to be more conscious about her alcohol consumption since alcohol abuse runs in her family, and she's someone who can't have just one drink. Now, since revealing this, she's gotten support, but of course, she's gotten a lot of criticism, and she actually shared a few of the negative comments on her Twitter page, writing, "I don't know how you can be this mean." I'm going to dive in first and say when this first came across my feed on social media, I'm thinking, there's no way, no. Someone's playing a joke on Chrissy. But as I watched it go onto different social media platforms and on different television shows, I was like, oh my God, it is true. I commend her because she is opening up herself to the whole world, saying, you know what? I have a problem. I am not the perfect person that you see on television. My body may be perfect to earn me. This is my money. This is how I make a living. But I am fighting demons like everyone else. That just goes to show you, you never know what a person's going through. So I commend her for that, for stepping up, and also compromising her husband's career, lifestyle, if you will, because she's attached to him. And so, of course, internet trolls can start with, oh, John Legend married a drunk or whatever. So kudos to her, and I wish her the best. I hope she gets help for this and she can move forward from it.
I adore Chrissy. I mean, she's
do.
she's our millennial. Like, it's her and Beyonce, I think, are kind of neck and neck because she is so relatable. Like, I watch her Snapchats all the time. She's so real. Like, even though she does have this perfect body, she eats garbage. She eats junk food. She'll take pictures of her stretch marks.
Yes.
She is so approachable and so relatable. And I remember watching after the Grammys back in February, she started posting all these drunk Snapchats on Snapchat. And
she did?
She was so drunk that John Legend had to take off her jewelry for her.
Oh, my
But
God.
I'm watching it, my friends and I are watching it thinking, that's us. Like, we've had moments like that probably last weekend. And that's why we love her. But what I find really interesting is that she's been a spokesperson for Captain Morgan and most recently Smirnoff. So I'm wondering if the contracts for those deals are already up. Otherwise, how are you going to do spokesperson deals for Smirnoff when you just announced that you're giving up drinking?
Well, that might be advantage to her, though. She might be able to say, you know, you need to drink in moderation and not take it to the extremes, which she's been doing. So that actually might work to her advantage.
But she's saying that even one drink leads to her wanting more and more and more.
Yeah, and she has alcoholism running in her family too, so she did come out to say that.
And then she combined that with medications that she's on.
Yeah, the anxiety and depression medication.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is with Chrissy Teigen, I love her too. I think she's great, and she's an outspoken voice for a lot of people with realness. But I don't like the fact that she's coming out and she's saying this. I understand what she's saying, and I understand why she's saying it, but I don't like her on the other side saying, "Why are you being so mean to me?" Because I've come out to say something, no matter what it is, no matter what the situation is that she's putting on social media. I don't like the fact that she's sitting back and going, well, you shouldn't be so mean to me about it, because she's been on the other side, just like an Amy Schumer, who can dish it out. But if you can't take it on the other side, someone coming back at you, no matter what your situation is, no matter what you're putting out there and sharing on social media, if you can't take it, then you don't need to be on social media fighting and throwing fighting words out there.
I think it's because she was really being very vulnerable this time, and it wasn't just her.
I understand that. But there's a lot of other people that are being vulnerable out there that are being attacked as well. So whenever you're going after somebody, be okay with people coming back at you, because it happens. So that's the only thing about that. I love her, but she needs to be able to take it a little bit too.
I mean, we can all definitely commend her for being honest and kind of cutting the drinks if she felt like she really needed that. So good for Chrissy. All right, well, coming up next, several topics from President Trump's recent speech has raised concerns. We talk with legal contributor Seth Padgett after the break.